So does it all work? Well, look, to test out this system, what I did, I started out with a balance of £200 with Victor Chandler Casino. £100 of that I deposited, and £100 of that was the bonus. Now, at the time, Victor Chandler had a wagering requirement of 25 times the £100 bonus, which is £2,500. That's pretty typical of a lot of casinos. So this means I had to turn over at least £2,500 worth of bets before I could cash out my bonus, assuming that I had any left. So my bet size was £3. I'm going to discuss bet size in more detail a little bit later, but we'll just leave it at that for now, for £3. So I needed to play 833 hands of perfect blackjack, again, cover that in another video, to turn over the £2,500 that I required. Now, I'm told that professionals can play anywhere up to 1,000 hands an hour. Now, at this point, I am far from a professional, and I only manage 350 hands an hour. Now, it should be noted that different casinos have different settings and different software, which allow you to play faster. So some casinos you'll be able to play faster than others. But the fastest that I could get at Victor Chandler was about 350 hands an hour. Now, it took me about 2.5 hours at that rate to turn over the £2,500 that were required. So at a loss of 0.5%, in theory, I should lose £12.50, which gives us a new balance of £187.50, which is a net gain of £87.50. Now, I played in 30-minute sessions, and I averaged about 175 hands a session, which is the same as 350 hands an hour. Now, in my first session, I lost £33, which is typical, really. You know, got a bit of a hit, and it was a big chunk of the bank. Now, this can happen, obviously, but it does even out in the end. Now, with the next 3 sessions, I actually made £6 in the second. I made £9, and I broke even on the 4th session. On the 4th and 5th sessions. So that left me a total balance of £182 in total. So in other words, I lost £18 of the 200 that I started with. Now remember, I should only lose about £12.50 in theory, but I actually lost 18. But I still managed to retain £82 of the bonus, which I then proceeded to cash out. So I pulled it £82 in net profit, which is roughly about the same as $160 for about 2.5 hours work. Now remember, sometimes you'll do better, sometimes you'll do worse. In theory, I've actually done worse than the average on that one. But just remember that you're playing with a mathematical edge, so on the long run, you're going to win. Now, every now and then, you might even lose your initial deposit. You might have a really, really bad run and just lose. Shouldn't happen too often, as long as your bet size isn't too high, but I'll talk about that later on. But again, you're playing with the mathematical edge. Do this enough, you're going to make a profit.